Happy day, children. Hope you all are doing fine. So, today we are going to learn a new lesson. Chapter 6. The lesson name is Tissues. So, in this lesson, we'll be learning about plant tissues and animal tissues. So, in this particular video, we will be learning about plant tissues in detail. So, under plant tissues, we will be learning about two types. One is the meristematic and the permanent. Under meristematic tissue, we shall be learning about the apical, lateral and intercalary meristem. In permanent tissue, there are two types. One is a simple and the other one is complex. Under the simple type of tissues, we will be learning about parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. And under complex tissues, we will be learning about xylem and phloem tissues. So we shall now move on to the lesson, children. Happy learning.
So children, in this lesson, we will be learning about plant tissues and animal tissues. So in this particular video, we will be learning about plant tissues in detail, which was already discussed in the previous slide. So in the next part of the lesson, in another video, part 2, we will be learning about animal tissues. So this is the whole summary of the animal tissues, which you will be learning in the part 2 of tissues lesson. Okay. Right. Tissues. The multicellular organisms are made of millions of cells. Cells show division of labor and each cell performs a particular function efficiently. Such cells are grouped together and is called a tissue. What is a tissue? A tissue is a group of cells that are similar in structure and origin, and they come from the same parent cell and perform similar function. Histology is nothing but the study of tissues. So if you see this human body, it's made up of cells. Several cells together forms a tissue, and several tissues together forms an organ, and several organs form together to form the organ system, and that makes up the whole human body. So cells include, the nucleus and mitochondria. The tissues include cardiac muscle. The organs include heart, and the system is circulatory system. So now, what is the utility of the tissues in multicellular organisms? Multicellular organisms have millions of cells. Each group of a cell is called a tissue, and it performs a special function efficiently. Example, the muscle cells' main function is to contract and relax to bring movement. The nerve cells carry the message and blood, right? And all are tissues. In plants, vascular tissue, that is the xylem and the phloem, conduct water and fluid from one part of the plant to the other parts. So, multicellular organisms show division of labor. So now this is an introduction to tissues, children. So as we already studied, tissues are a group of cells that combine together to form a particular function. Plant tissues are of various types and they are made up of similar types of cells. They are different from animal tissues since there are several differences between the animal and the plant cell itself. So about the animal tissues, they are made up of animal cells. These tissues are usually not rigid since the cells do not have cell wall. Are plants and animals made up of same stuffs? Animal tissue and plant tissue. About animal tissue. Since animals are mobile, they require more energy, hence more living tissues are required. Since plants are stationary, so they do not require much energy, hence more living tissues are not required here. Animals move from one place to another in search of food, shelter, etc. Hence they need more energy and more tissues for their living. In plants, most tissues provide structural strength. Most of these tissues are dead and it can provide mechanical strength as easily the living ones and need less maintenance. The cell growth is uniformly distributed in the animal cells, whereas the growth is limited to a certain part of regions in the plant tissue. The structural organization of the organs and the organ system is more specialized and complex. The structural organization of organs is comparatively lesser complex. So, due to the difference in structure and function of the plants and animals, they are made up of different types of tissues. So we have already seen about the classification of plant tissue in the introduction itself. So we'll be learning about plant tissue in this video tutorial. About animal tissue, we'll be learning out in the next video. Now, plant tissue, on the basis of the dividing capacity, they are of two types, children. The first type is the meristematic tissue and the second is the permanent tissue. So, about meristematic tissue. The meristematic tissues are seen in plants. They are primarily made up of rapid dividing cells. They are the growing tissues of the plant. What is a permanent tissue then? Permanent tissue arises from the meristematic tissue and its structural and functional properties. Permanent tissue can be made up of either living or dead cells. Then what is differentiation? Differentiation is a process by which the meristematic tissues develop into different types of permanent tissues based on the location and requirement of the plant. The meristematic tissues consist of actively dividing cells. The meristematic tissue are of three types. First one is the apical meristem, second is the intercalary meristem, and the third is the lateral meristem. In the apical meristem, it is present at the growing tips of stems and roots. The important function is to increase the length of stem and roots. The intercalary meristem. It is present at the base of the leaves or internodes. The important function is for the longitudinal growth of the plant. Lateral meristem. It is present at the lateral sides of the stem and the roots. Important function is to increase the thickness of stems and roots. So if you see in this picture, this is a shoot and this is a root, right? So apical meristem is present in the top, right, in the stem and in the root. Intercalary is in the middle. Lateral, you can see how it is, right? Permanent tissues. These are formed from the meristematic tissues, okay? The cells in the tissue loses the ability to divide, and the permanent tissues are divided into two categories. The first one is a simple permanent tissue and the second is a complex permanent tissue. The simple permanent tissue are those tissues that are made up of only one type of cells. They actually have a structural role. Complex permanent tissue are made up of combination of different types of cells. These cells work together to perform a specific task. So in this slide, we'll be learning about the simple permanent tissue. It consists of only one types of cells, right? So there are three types of these tissues. One is parenchyma, second is collenchyma, and the third is sclerenchyma. Parenchyma, it is composed of unspecialized living cells with relatively thin cell walls, intercellular spaces, and it's present in the soft parts of the plant. Parenchyma tissues are made up of loosely packed cells within thin cell wall and large intercellular spaces. They are live cells and help in support and storage purpose. There are two types, chlorenchyma and arenchyma within this parenchyma. So the main store function is to do storage. The second type of the simple permanent tissue is the collenchyma. The collenchyma tissues are made up of living cells, live cells, which have irregularly thickened corners and thus have decreased intercellular spaces. They help in bending of various parts of the plant without breaking. They are composed of living and elongated cells with cell walls which are irregularly thickened at the corners. No intercellular space is there. It provides mechanical strength and elasticity to the plant. It helps in bending of the leaves and stem as elasticity is there. The third type of the simple permanent tissue is the sclerenchyma. The sclerenchyma tissues make up the hard and stiff parts of the plant. They are made up of dead, long, and narrow cells. They almost have no intercellular space as the walls are thickened due to the presence of lignin. Composed of long, narrow, and thick walled cells. The sclerenchyma tissue is made up of dead cells and there are no intercellular spaces. The sclerenchyma cells are dead and present in the seeds, nuts, the husk of coconut, and even in the fibers of jute. So this is a picture about the simple permanent tissue, right? So these are the tissues that are made up of only one type of cells and they have a structural role. It's what we have studied. So you can see this is the parenchyma tissue. There is intercellular spaces in between, right? And then this is the collenchyma and this is the sclerenchyma. So now we are going to learn about the complex permanent tissue. The complex permanent tissue is made up of more than one type of cell and it's also called as a conducting tissues. Okay, so it includes xylem and phloem. Okay, children. So what is the main difference between xylem and phloem? Xylem is going to carry only water and minerals, whereas phloem is going to carry water and food. Xylem pathway is going to be just one way only, and phloem will have a bidirectional pathway, two-way flow. Then there will be no end walls between the cells in xylem, and the cells have end walls with perforation. Can you see here? Yes. And xylem have thick walls which are lined up with lignin, whereas it's not present in phloem. So to study in depth about the xylem and phloem, xylem is made up of the following components. Okay, the vessels and tracheids. So why they are present? They help in the conduction of water and minerals from the soil. The xylem parenchyma helps in food storage and the xylem fiber provide mechanical support. Phloem. The phloem conducts food material from the leaves to the different parts of the plant. It is composed of four different types of cells, that is the sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. The phloem conducts food in both the directions. Among all the components, phloem fibers are the only dead cells. It's a protected tissue and is made up of a single layer of cells. That is the epidermis. Epidermis of the leaf bears the stomata. So this is a picture of the xylem and the phloem vessel. As I already told you, it's just a one-way pathway for xylem and a two-way flow for phloem. The xylem is going to carry water and minerals, and the phloem is going to carry water and food. No end walls between cells in xylem, and end walls are present in phloem. The xylem vessel has thick walls stiffened with lignin, and it's present in phloem. So this shows, the overall differences between the meristematic and the permanent tissue, children. If you take meristematic tissue, the component cells are very small, spherical, and polygonal and undifferentiated. In permanent tissue, the component cells are large, differentiated with different shapes. The cytoplasm of the meristematic tissue is dense and vacuoles are absent. Usually, a large central vacuole is present in the living permanent cells of the permanent tissue. Intercellular cells are absent in meristematic, present in permanent. The cell wall is thin and elastic in meristematic tissue and it's thick in permanent tissue. Nucleus is large and prominent in meristematic tissue and it is less conspicuous in the permanent tissue. Cells will grow and they divide regularly in meristematic, but they do not normally divide in the case of permanent tissue. The last point is that it provides mechanical support and elasticity to the plant body in the meristematic, whereas the permanent tissue provides only the mechanical support.
So, children, we have come to the end of the lesson. I hope this lesson was helpful to acquire a greater knowledge, right? So, thank you for your cooperation. Keep studying, keep rocking, stay safe, stay home, and have a great day. Bye.